He disguised himself as a security man after she left him for another man, unaware that he was actually wealthy. Her reaction when she finds out will shock you. Kindly subscribe to this channel to get more of our latest stories. One morning, Kenneth woke up and later received a call from a friend who expressed concern about his trip to the airport. Kenneth responded that he would see him soon. That same day, Kenneth and his friend had a discussion. Kenneth asked his friend to pick up his lady from the airport, feeling nervous about meeting her for the first time. He insisted on getting groceries from the supermarket before leaving. Later that day, while in his hotel room, Kenneth received a call from his friend informing him that the lady, named Precious, was at the door. Kenneth immediately welcomed her in. When she asked why they didn't go to his house, Kenneth explained that his house was currently under renovation and that they would move in once it was ready. They quickly got along. That evening, Kenneth and Precious shared a bottle of wine and enjoyed each other's company. The next day, they spent time in their room playing and having fun. Later, they went for a walk and enjoyed some ice cream together, still having a great time. That same day, when they returned home, Precious suggested that Kenneth meet her family. She also expressed concern about her sister, who was in Kenya. Kenneth assured her that he would meet her family soon, and they could video call them in the meantime. He also encouraged her to invite her sister to Nigeria. Precious was thrilled. The following weekend, Kenneth picked up Precious's sister, Anita, from the airport. During the drive, she chatted about the differences in temperature and atmosphere between Kenya and Nigeria. When they got home, Precious and Anita caught up and enjoyed each other's company. Kenneth excused himself to give them time alone. The sisters chatted about many things. Anita even mentioned how handsome Kenneth was, and they discussed the local food and culture. A few months later, Kenneth expressed his deep love for Precious. He proposed to her, and she said yes. The following day, Kenneth's friend teased him about his engagement. As they chatted, his friend expressed concern, saying it might be too soon. But Kenneth brushed it off, and the two continued talking before parting ways. That same day, Precious excitedly showed her sister the engagement ring. They chatted and bonded over the moment. Later on, as the two sisters were still talking, Kenneth brought them ice cream. They all chatted for a while before leaving together. A few days later, they packed their luggage and moved to Kenneth's apartment. When they arrived at Kenneth's house, Precious was shocked and visibly upset. She accused Kenneth of being poor. Kenneth calmly responded that he was not, but Precious felt deceived and expressed her frustration, accusing him of lying to her. While Kenneth tried to explain, she walked away, and he took Anita inside. That evening, Precious spoke to herself, saying she couldn't stay there. She talked about the kind of life she wanted and claimed Kenneth was trying to deceive her with an engagement. She made up her mind to leave. The next morning, Anita was cleaning the living room when Kenneth came in and gave her some money to give to Precious so she could prepare food. Then he left for work. Later that morning, when Precious woke up, still displeased, she asked Anita about Kenneth. Anita told her that he had gone to work and had left money for her to make food. Precious got into an argument with her sister, insisting they should leave because Kenneth had lied to her. But Anita defended Kenneth, saying he was a good man who truly loved her. Precious, still upset, stormed out. Later that day, Anita went out and asked a stranger for directions to the market. He pointed her in the right direction, and she thanked him. When Anita got home, she prepared a meal for everyone. Later in the evening, when Kenneth returned from work, Anita welcomed him and lied, telling him that Precious had prepared the food he asked for. A few moments later, Precious returned. Kenneth welcomed her warmly and tried to make conversation, but she ignored him and walked away. The next morning, Kenneth brought breakfast to Precious, but she was even more displeased. Believing he was poor, she expressed her frustration and went back to sleep while Kenneth remained quiet. Later that day, Precious complained to Anita about the situation Kenneth had put her in. Anita once again reassured her that Kenneth truly loved her, but Precious remained upset. Then Kenneth came in with his dirty clothes and asked Precious if she could help him wash them. She responded arrogantly, saying he should buy a washing machine. Anita took the clothes instead. Precious, still angry, argued with them and eventually walked out. That same day, Precious received a call from her family in Kenya. She lied to them, claiming she was living a luxurious and wealthy life in Nigeria. After the call, she felt guilty and blamed Kenneth for putting her in a position where she had to lie. A few moments later, Precious went into Kenneth's room, searched through his belongings, and found a stash of money. She was shocked and surprised. Later that day, Precious dressed up, and they all seemed to get along as they went out together. Shortly after, Precious and Anita were at a bar, chatting. Anita noticed something strange and asked Precious how she had gotten such a large amount of money. Precious ignored her question. Not long after, a young man walked in. Precious noticed him and said to herself that he looked rich. She was immediately drawn to him. Anita warned her, reminding her that she was engaged to Kenneth, but Precious dismissed her concerns. Moments later, the young man approached them and introduced himself as Raymond. He complimented Precious on her beauty. As they continued chatting, he asked her to join him, and she agreed, handing her engagement ring to Anita. As they sat together, Raymond and Precious got along well, while Anita observed quietly. The following day, Precious was in the room chatting on her phone when Kenneth walked in and asked her why she wasn't wearing their engagement ring. Precious rudely ignored him and called him a poor man. Kenneth was hurt by her words and replied that he wasn't poor, then walked away. He later asked Anita to talk to her sister about her attitude and left the room. That night, while Kenneth was sleeping, he woke up and noticed that Precious was not in bed. Meanwhile, Precious was in the living room, having a phone call with Raymond. The next morning, Kenneth checked his cupboard and discovered that the money he had kept there was missing. He confronted Precious, but she denied knowing anything, responding rudely. A few moments later, Kenneth approached Anita, who politely told him she didn't know anything about it and assured him that they would eventually find the money. Meanwhile, Precious came in, teasing and mocking Anita, confirming through her actions and words that she was the one who took the money. Anita warned her about the consequences, but Precious ignored her and walked out. The following morning, Precious told Anita she was going out. Anita tried to advise her, urging her to reconsider her attitude toward Kenneth and reminding her that he truly loved her. But Precious dismissed her concern, saying she wanted money, not love, and then left. Soon after, Precious got into Raymond's car, and they drove off together. That same day, when they arrived at Raymond's house, they chatted for a while. Raymond told Precious about the many luxurious houses he owned across the country. Afterward, he stepped inside, and Precious felt pleased to be with a wealthy man. She began comparing him to Kenneth. When Raymond returned, they drank together and got along well. Then he asked her if she had a boyfriend. Precious lied and said no. Later that day, when Precious returned home, Anita told her how worried Kenneth had been about her whereabouts. Precious rudely dismissed her concern and walked away. In their room, Kenneth expressed how worried he was about where Precious had been. But she responded harshly, accusing him of deceiving her and calling him poor. Kenneth replied that he hadn't deceived her and that he wasn't poor, but Precious argued and stormed out. The following morning, Kenneth approached Anita and complained about Precious's attitude, insisting that she talk to her sister. They discussed the issue for a while before Kenneth left. That same day, Raymond called Precious, telling her he was outside her house. As Precious was about to leave, Anita confronted her, urging her to fix her relationship with Kenneth. But Precious ignored her and left. Meanwhile, at Raymond's house, after being intimate with Precious, he told her he loved her and insisted she move into his apartment. They enjoyed each other's company. At the same time, Anita and Kenneth were worried about Precious's whereabouts. They tried calling her, but she didn't answer. That evening, Kenneth couldn't sleep. He stayed awake, worried about where Precious might be. The next morning, Precious and Raymond enjoyed their time together before Raymond left for work. Later that day, back at Kenneth's apartment, Kenneth and Anita were still worried about Precious, when suddenly she walked in. Kenneth expressed his concern about where she had been, but Precious told him she was breaking up with him, leaving him stunned. Then she left. In their room, Kenneth tried to talk to Precious and resolve the issue, but she told him he was broke and couldn't give her the life she deserved. As she packed her things, Kenneth felt heartbroken. Precious then argued with Anita, who disagreed with her decision to leave Kenneth. Despite this, they left together. That same day, they arrived at Raymond's house. He welcomed them briefly before leaving again. The following day at Raymond's house, Anita confronted Precious about her decisions, but Precious dismissed all her advice. Anita, feeling upset, walked away in disappointment. Meanwhile, Kenneth confided in his friend, and the two of them discussed everything that had happened. The next day at Raymond's house, everyone was seated at the dining table. Anita appeared moody about the entire situation. Raymond received a phone call and excused himself. While he was away, the two sisters got into a heated argument. Anita told Precious she had made a mistake by leaving Kenneth, the man who truly loved her. With the atmosphere tense, Precious, visibly irritated, responded harshly. Anita, even more displeased, got up and left the table. Later that day, Precious was on a video call with her family in Kenya, showing them how beautiful the house was. Just as she ended the call, Anita entered. Once again, she confronted Precious for giving up a good man who loved her just for money. Precious, feeling angry, slapped Anita and warned her to watch her words. The argument escalated, and Precious told Anita to leave the house, but Anita had nowhere to go. Guys, do you think Anita deserves to be thrown out? Or could Precious have handled their argument differently? Drop your thoughts in the comments section. That same day, at Kenneth's apartment, Anita explained everything that had happened. They talked it over, and Kenneth told her she could stay at his place. She was grateful and stayed. The next morning at Kenneth's house, he gave Anita some money to support herself while he was out. She thanked him warmly, and after chatting for a bit, he left for work. Later that day, at Kenneth's workplace, his friend stopped by to chat and jokingly teased him about Anita. They laughed and talked for a while before his friend left. Meanwhile, Precious was on a phone call with her boyfriend Raymond. They chatted happily, and he insisted she come to his office. That same day, when Precious arrived at Raymond's office, she was shocked to see Kenneth working there as a security guard. She mocked him, made fun of his position, and then left. At Raymond's office, Precious gave him the food she brought as they chatted. Then Precious insisted on going shopping and asked for money. Raymond gave her his ATM card with the PIN, allowing her to buy anything she wanted. That same day, Precious confronted Kenneth and threatened him to stay silent about their past, warning that if he spoke out, he would lose his job. She mocked him with belittling words and then drove off. Later that day at Raymond's house, Precious called her sister Anita. They exchanged pleasantries, and Precious apologized for their earlier dispute, suggesting that Anita return to the house. Precious then revealed that Kenneth was just a common security guard for her boyfriend, using degrading language to describe him. Anita ended the call while Precious felt displeased. Precious then began worrying about how she could get Kenneth to lose his job working for her boyfriend. Meanwhile, Kenneth felt awkward and uncomfortable about the new discovery. His friend came by and teased him about Precious dating his boss, but Kenneth ignored the teasing as his friend left. That same day, when Kenneth got home, he shared his discovery with Anita, telling her about Precious dating his boss. Anita told him she was already aware of it since Precious had told her. She then consoled Kenneth with encouraging words, reassuring him not to worry before she left. Kenneth felt better after her comforting words. A few moments later, Kenneth enjoyed the food Anita had prepared for him. Anita then suggested that she was looking for a job to help support him. Kenneth appreciated her offer and told her he would help her find a job. They hugged. That same evening, Kenneth came into the living room and admired Anita's beauty. He then confessed that he had feelings for her. Anita was shocked and expressed concern about her sister, but Kenneth dismissed her concerns, reaffirming his love for her. Anita left, feeling conflicted. Meanwhile, Precious told Raymond that Kenneth was rude and disrespectful to her, insisting that he fire him and hire a new security guard. Raymond told her he would take care of it, but explained that Kenneth couldn't be fired just like that, as it was his first offense. The following day, Raymond confronted Kenneth about the complaints he had received, warning him that if any further disrespectful reports came in, he would lose his job. They then parted ways. That same day, Kenneth's friend confronted him, teasing him about whether he felt jealous about his boss dating his ex. Kenneth expressed a lack of concern about it and immediately received a call from his boss, who insisted he get something for him. His friend teased him again as he left. Meanwhile, Anita thought about Kenneth's feelings for her, realizing that he was a good man and good-looking. She imagined how her sister could lose such a good man. Later that day, at Raymond's office, he was having fun with Precious when Kenneth arrived to deliver the errand his boss had sent him on. Kenneth immediately felt jealous seeing his ex with his boss. Raymond then told him to leave. A few moments later, Raymond instructed his staff to bring all the reports from the department, as the CEO would be coming soon. They needed to be ready. The next day, Kenneth approached Anita and told her to prepare her CV because the CEO of his company would be arriving the next day. He said it should be ready before then, and then he left. The following morning, Anita woke up and discovered that Kenneth had gone to work. She then called him, and he told her that he didn't want to disturb her sleep. He had left money for her to use for transport and asked her to bring her CV to his office. Later that day, all the staff gathered together. Raymond arrived and saw Kenneth with his friend. He insisted they leave, saying the meeting didn't concern them. Then, Raymond told his staff to remain composed and quiet about all their dirty work, stressing that he would do all the talking once the CEO arrived. He then dismissed the meeting and spent some time with his girlfriend. Meanwhile, Kenneth and his friend complained about how rude Raymond, their boss, had been during the meeting. Later that day, while all the staff were gathered, a man came in and Raymond introduced him as the chairman and CEO of the company. When the man saw Kenneth and his friend Daniel, he became upset and insisted they leave, stating that the meeting was for professional staff only. However, the man then told them he was not the chairman or CEO of the company. Raymond, feeling displeased, asked why he was there. The man introduced himself as Mr. Felix, a consultant, and addressed Kenneth as the CEO of the company, which made everyone laugh in disbelief. Raymond was in disbelief, feeling even more displeased. He told Kenneth to leave the meeting and return to his security post. Kenneth then introduced himself as the son of the late Mr. Benson, which made everyone clap in surprise. Raymond stopped them from clapping and questioned Kenneth about his claims. Kenneth then revealed all his plans and discoveries about the company, how he had disguised his identity as the gatekeeper, and how he had employed his friend Daniel, a graduate with a BSc in accounting. He also told Raymond that he was aware of his fraudulent activities in the company. Raymond checked his identity on his phone, which confirmed Kenneth's discovery. Kenneth then asked Raymond to leave and drop the company's car keys. Precious then came in and apologized for everything she had done to him. Kenneth told his HR to escort her out and asked his staff to bring Anita inside. He then invited Anita in. That same day, Raymond called his account officer to transfer all his money to another account, but the account officer informed him about his frozen account and ended the call. Meanwhile, Anita was surprised to discover Kenneth's true identity. He explained to her that he had disguised himself to be sure if her sister truly loved him. He then appreciated Anita for accepting him and loving him for who he is. He told Mr. Felix to do something about his current responsibilities in the company. The following day, Precious packed all her things to leave Raymond's house, insulting him and calling him a thief, and then she left. Meanwhile, Kenneth brought Anita to his house and proposed to her. She accepted, and they hugged. The following week, Precious came to Kenneth's house and apologized for the way she had treated him. She also apologized to Anita, and they got along. So guys, if you enjoyed this story, kindly subscribe to this channel to get more stories like this.